Guys, how you guys on YouTube today? Today's title of this vlog going to be how to check fuses on a coconut lawn tractor on the electrical system of the unit itself. Now, what I did last night is I pulled out both of the 20 amp fuses this lawn tractor has in it, and I turned around and I cleaned them with a little bit of a steel uh, brush to help to clean the contacts, and it was kind of coated with material and stuff, but that happens over time because the little metal gets coated, and I just want to make sure it's not going to have any more issues. But this lawn tractor is from 2006. Now, I don't know if every lawn tractor out there have car fuses in them, but they might do. These fuses will work for a lawn tractor and also a car as well. But the mostly focus is the electrical system inside the unit to cover that tractor itself, to make sure you take care of the battery and also make sure you replace the 20 amp fuses in case if you actually do need to replace them. But I do have a couple of fuses I can replace or not replace the fuses today because I cleaned them and I inspected them and I looked at them and they seem to work just fine. They haven't been popped or anything. And the kit I have over there on the fusel is it only has 120 amp fuse in it. But what happens when you have resistance on both sides of the fuse, it will actually melt the wire, the little thin wire on the inside of the fuse. It will send one signal through that wire, one signal to the on of the end of the wire itself. But it's kind of interesting to figure it out. Let's go ahead and show you the tractor itself, and I will show you what tools and stuff I have over there. Now, the way I can check them is to pull them out and visually take a look at the fuse and making sure there's no broken or blown metal bits in it or something like that. But let's go. There you go, guys. Here is the tractor here, the lawn tractor here. We are going to be taking a look at the fuses inside of it, making sure none of the fuses are blown. There's a fuse, a 20 amp fuse on this side and a 20 amp fuse on that side. Now, let's take a look at what we got over here. We got a pair of pliers, in case if I need to pull out the fuses. We got a flashlight to look where the fuses are at. I got my keys. I also got a wash towel here. And we got these different fuses right here. Let's take a look at these fuses. Okay, shall we? This is a 10 amp fuse. Can't use that. That won't work. This is a 15 amp fuse. That won't work. It would probably pop the fuse itself. Here is the little fuse. This is the 20 amp fuse. You guys can see the little wire right there. That wire bridges this contact with that contact by a thin piece of metal. And here we have a 25 amp fuse. Again, same thing. Bridges the wire together. And here we have a 30 amp fuse. These fuses are good for cars and also lawn tractors like this guy over here. Now we're going to go ahead and pop up the hood, and we're going to find where the fuses are at on this lawn tractor by using a simple, easy tool to settle the flashlight. Now we look on this side. Right on this side, you guys can see we have a 20 amp fuse on that side. We're going to pull that fuse out, and we're going to go ahead and actually check it to make sure it looks inspect and it looks pretty good. Don't mind the flashlight there, guys. Just gonna have to hold the camera here, and we're going to go ahead and pop out this little tiny fuse. And yes, these fuses can be quite of a buggle to get out. You guys can see, gotta turn that off. Here is my 20 amp fuse, and it looks pretty good. Looks clean. I cleaned the contacts, the corrosion off the contacts, and the wire is still in contact, joining the two pieces together. This fuse is still good. We're gonna go ahead and put this fuse back in to the fuse holder. It's over here. You guys can see it. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it. But it's right down here. That's where we're going to put the fuse back. And this little tiny little guy back in this fuse holder, beside the little relay. We'll just push this guy in. It will go in. It'll be in a little bug all day. But that's how you check your fuses and take them out. And fuses right there. And go on to the outside, the opposite side of the engine here. And we'll look at and replacing the fuse on the engine over here. This is a non-fuse. This is a non-20 amp fuse, and these things can be quite a little buggle to get out. Now, if these are corroded really bad, these fuses will not come out. That's why you have to use a pair of pliers. Now, let's go over here and check the fuses I have here on this fuse top. Okay. Now, what we're interested in is the 20 amp fuse, the little fuse. Let's check, make sure the wires are the same. The wires look the same. They look absolutely the same size, but these are a little bit smaller than these fuse right here. And we actually cleaned this one as well. Now, how do you know if your fuses are popped or your fuses are still good? Notice that little tiny wire on the inside. That fuse is actually good. We don't need to replace the fuses today on this lawn tractor, because this lawn tractor has absolutely healthy fuses. And we're just going to go ahead and put this little guy back where it normally would go, back in this little fuse box holder. Now, this fuse box is one of the cigarette outlets. This has a cigarette outlet, 12 volt cigarette outlet. You guys can see there's the fuse right there. And we just replaced it with the original fuse. We cleaned the contacts, and the contacts look absolutely pretty good. What it means, we don't have to replace any of the fuses. Now, what is that? Same thing. We have the 20 amp fuse. Make sure these are all the way pushed in. Make sure they're sitting correctly inside the fuse holder box. And make sure they look absolutely good, and make sure you do take care of them. But yeah, you guys can see there's the 20 amp fuse. Now, the one thing you should normally do is you should normally disconnect the battery, but I have not disconnected the battery on this because we're just checking the fuses on the lawn tractor. So, now, how do you know if your lawn tractor fuses are bad? Well, you take them out and you test them, and you make sure and you look at that middle wire in between those little things themselves, like these. You just take one of these and you physically look at the fuse, and you see if it's any discoloration or if this metal wire has been blown. You would just change the fuse. Now, this is a 20 amp fuse. This will actually work just fine in the lawn tractor, but I would recommend using the right type of fuse for your tractor. Now, this might go with all the fuses, or also all the different lawn tractors, and make sure everything is, situated, and make sure it all seems to work. Now, let's go ahead, and we're going to go close the lid. The hood. This opens up like this. Some lawn tractors' hoods will open this way. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I have my keys. Okay. It's my little keys here. I'm going to go ahead and see if we get any signal lights on the tractor, and see if we have lights. And we seem to have lights on the hood and also up now. And we have lights over here as well, making sure the fuses work just absolutely fine like they're supposed to. But that's how you check your fuses on your tractor. It's very interesting to know how fuses will work in all sorts of different applications. This lawn tractor is a pretty old lawn tractor. It's a 2006 lawn tractor. but it will definitely work if you actually maintain the fuses, maintain the battery, and also check the electrical system inside the unit itself, the tractor itself. Now, the reason why I do all this is I just want to make sure the lawn tractor is running right, and I want to make sure I inspect the fuses and inspect the batteries. This is mostly of a maintaining of your system, and you go through and make sure you have the right type of fuse. Now, can you put a higher amp fuse in, like a 25 or a 30 amp fuse? Answer would be probably yes or no, because the lawn tractor was designed with 20 amps. So 20 amp fuses, it runs the whole tile system, like the electrical starter, the cigarette outlet, the battery, the engine, whatever it has inside it, pertains to the electrical system and the tractor itself. Now let's go talk more about fuses. Let's see these fuses. These are fuses, okay? These are car fuses. These will work in cars and lawn tractors. There's a 25, 30, 15, 10, and 25 amp fuses. You only want the one is meant for yours. You want this little one. You take out the old dead one, you put a new one in. And that's all you have to do, is make sure you check through those fuses and make sure the metal contact has not broken on it as well. You check that little wire, make sure your wires are fine. This is how I check my fuses on my lawn tractor, making sure it's going to start every single year, making sure none of the fuses are blown out. And this might go through all of your lawn tractor maintenance, and also my own lawn tractors might have the same thing as well, but don't know, not 100% sure if all lawn tractors have fuses for the electrical system. I know this one does, because hey, I just clean the contacts and get all the corrosion off of the contacts and make sure everything looks absolutely nice and clean. I really love this old curb tractor, and everything seems to work just fine on this old gear. Everything will work once you check and stuff like that. And there you go, guys. You have checked your fuses and your lawn tractor is starting in. Alright, guys. If you are brand new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. Please like, leave a comment down below. Please share. Peace out. Bye, guys. We'll see you in the next vlog. Alright.